Okay, we're live now, and you're good. Any questions before we do this, or okay?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna play our intro and then business as usual. So,
Welcome to Sweet Talk, the Honey Bunch Bake Shop podcast, broadcasting straight from Southwest Fort Worth's favorite family-run bakery. Each episode, we'll peek behind the ovens with owner and operator Keisha Scroggins and her crew, the folks baking up birthday cakes, holiday treats, and everyday sweets for the neighborhood. So settle in, imagine the smell of warm cinnamon rolls, and get ready for some sweet talk from Honey Bunch Bake Shop.
a thoughtful look at creativity, personal taste, and why every baker's palate tells a different story. Welcome, everyone. I'm Frederick, co host and producer here in the studio with Keisha Scroggins, owner and operator of the Honey Bunch Bake Shop. Keisha, how's the sweetness level in the kitchen today?
It's pretty sweet.
Nice, nice. So let's get into it. So, Keisha, can you tell us why isn't disliking a flavor considered a mistake in baking?
I think, we have to value everybody's taste preferences. Like, there are so many different things that I do and don't like, so many different things that my family does and doesn't like. I think it's hard, especially me. I take things really personally, but I've had to learn it's okay. Everybody doesn't, it's impossible for everyone to like every single thing you do because they're not you. So I don't expect them to. Even my husband, he's like, your lemon is too lemony. But like my kids are like, oh yeah, that's really sour. They like it. It doesn't mean anyone did anything wrong. It just means people like different things, and that's totally okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people get upset. I don't like this, and it's like, well, it just depends. I mean, if it's cooked, and there's not like a ball of hair in it, it doesn't mean anybody did anything wrong. It just means I don't make it the way you like it. That's okay. That's all right.
That's true. That's true. And you talked about valuing everyone's taste preferences. So, how do personal taste preferences influence the way bakers create or refine recipes?
So for me, I tend to make things I personally like. That's why I know everybody's not gonna like that. But I also test things out on family. Hey guys, try this. What do you think about this? And then some things you just don't know until you put it out there and try it. And there are some things that the people who bought them like them, but just not enough people bought them, and I just don't make them anymore. Sometimes it's trial and error. You don't know what's gonna catch on and what isn't. And sometimes you just, even if my whole family likes it, it doesn't mean everybody else in Fort Worth will. Sometimes you just try it and it doesn't work. It's okay.
That's true. And you talked about making things that you love. What about the reverse? Can you share an example of a flavor that you did not love at first, but others absolutely adored?
Well, I've had a customer, she would like to put interesting flavors together, like touching, and I was always a little worried about it. So I think one time she wanted like a cake that was like half banana and like half lemon, and I was like, but they're gonna be touching. Are you sure that you want that? And so I just say, if that's what you want to do, I will do it. So that's your cake. I don't have to eat it. So I try to be accommodating, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna taste, but if you want that, okay.
Yeah, lemon and banana. That sounds like an interesting combo that I'd try at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, can you share why is it important for bakers to separate personal preference from technical skill?
I think because it's easy to drive yourself a little bit bananas. And I am guilty of this, and especially in the beginning, because I would have someone come and say, this cinnamon roll has too much icing. And so, okay, great. Next week at the farmer's market, I'm going to put less icing. And I promise you, someone was like, there is not enough icing on this cinnamon roll. And I'm like, what? I just can't, because depending on who it is, one person likes it one way, one person likes it another. You're never going to be able to please everyone. I have thrown recipes out and started over. And you know what? Again, I've had to learn to be like, this is the way that I make it. It may not be the way your mom or someone else made it. I don't know them. I don't know their recipes. It's impossible for me to make something exactly like someone else did. These are my recipes. But if you don't like them, it's totally okay. It's totally all right if you don't like something I make, because it's impossible for me to make something that every single person will like. So I've just had to learn to just let go of some of that. It still hurts because you always want someone to like something, but I've had to learn to just be like, okay, they didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah. And you gave the cinnamon roll recipe where like one customer will be like, there's too much icing, then you remove the icing, then another customer will be like, oh, there's not enough icing. So with that being said, like, how do customer reactions help guide, which flavors stay, which flavors evolve, and which ones get retired?
I guess the overall experience, like I've had people say, oh my gosh, this cake is great. I've had other people, this is horrible. I don't even think this texture is like a cake. I think this is a brownie, like you get like the whole gamut. I think what you have to do is just take the totality of it, do several people not like it? Is no one buying them? I think we look at a lot like if it's just not, if we throw it away all the time, then there's no point in continuing to make it. If someone really wants it, they can just ask, They can just ask for it. Hey, I used to get this. You don't make it anymore. Can you make it? Okay, no worries. But I think you just kind of have to take the good with the bad and average it out. You know what I mean? Because it's always going to be a mixed bag.
True. And when it comes to like flavor combinations, you've talked about some customers have their own suggestions, for example, like lemon and banana. So can you tell us, what role does experimentation play in discovering, new or unexpected flavor combinations?
For me, a lot. I do a lot of experimenting. Sometimes it's something I've tried somewhere and I'm like, oh, well, what if I add, something different to it? Either that or just taking something I've been making and just trying different things with it, just to give a little bit of variety. I do a lot of trying things. And sometimes, I just don't even actually start making it. I just try it. And I'm like, I didn't really like that, and I just never really put it out to sell. It was just, okay, let me try and see, if I think anybody would like it, or even if I like it. Or there's stuff that people say, oh, do you make this? Like one time someone asked me to make a silk pie. I'd never made a silk pie. So I was like, well, I'll try it. If you're willing to taste it, I'll try it. So, it just depends. Suggestions, just trying different things.
True. So you talked about quote unquote trying and seeing. So on that note, how do you encourage new bakers to trust their instincts even when their taste differs from others?
So my son, he is kind of a foodie. So he likes to look at videos online and then try things. And so I have seen him I can give an example. So once he tried to make his own buttercream icing, and it wasn't horrible, but he used regular sugar instead of powdered sugar. So it was very grainy. So I told him, hey, you are almost there. Just next time you use powder, And so he likes to try different things. So just being positive. Again, everything you try is not going to turn out the best. I've been there myself. Or there are days when you make something you make all the time and it just does not come out the way it should, and you just throw it in the trash and you start over. So just to keep trying is how I try to be encouraging.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for the words of wisdom and for breaking that down. Such, a great reminder that such a great reminder to everyone that creativity has no wrong answers. So thanks for sharing that, Keisha, and for everyone at home, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.
You've been listening to Sweet Talk from Honey Bunch Bake Shop. Sweet on the outside, heart in the oven. Treat yourself and stop by at 6257 Granbury Road in the Hewlin Square Shopping Center or visit honeybunchbakeshop.com. Until next time, stay sweet, Fort Worth.